Hi, friends. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. This is Elizabeth with Wandering Soul Enterprises. I'm so excited. I found some time this Sunday morning to record a reading before I run off to teach yoga at the Y. So I'm really excited. It's been busy year so far, and I haven't been able to post as much as I would like, but we're here now, so let's get to it. Choose one of these three piles. We've got pile number one, or group number one, and this is a mountain laurel bean or mountain laurel seed. It's also sometimes called a Mezcalbean. And then group number two is an Abalone shell fragment. And then group number three is the feather. I'm fairly certain this is the feather of a white-winged dove. It's very similar to the feathers of the mockingbird and the mourning dove. All three of those birds are very common around here, but I think this is the white-winged dove because it kind of cuts straight across here at the white part, and the mourning dove and the mourning dove and the mockingbird both seem to have a little different shape where the white tip hits the darker part. So I think it's a white-winged dove, but just use your own intuition. Also, I just wanted to say I felt called to put out a blue jay feather, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I found this feather instead. And my son's the one who finds the feathers for me. I don't know what happened to the blue jay feather. And all three of these objects were found in my backyard, so I felt called to bring them out today. So go ahead and choose your pile. I'm gonna light the candle. So the candle also, I'm not 100% sure. It's a Reiki candle that I bought at the esoteric store. It smells wonderful, but it's mixed in with all the other candles, so it's really hard to tell. But I think it's either the housewarming candle or the compassion candle. But either way, it's got this real subtle, earthy color, and it smells kind of like, to me, it smells like, I'm getting like orange and cinnamon. And I think both the compassion candle and the housewarming candle had those scents associated with them. So it could be for either of those, but we're going to be lighting that one today, and I'm going to smudge the area and then ring the bell. So you're welcome to stay for this part for the cleansing, and then I'll have time stamps below where you can meet me at your pile. We're just going to do a basic Celtic cross today and just see what comes up and then go from there. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll see you at your pile. Thank you. It took a little while to get that candle lit with my ceiling fan going, but it's on. It's dancing around. It seems to be kind of moving almost clockwise. Very interesting. Probably because of the fan. Probably mostly because of the fan. Can you get it going? Here. also going to use a little bit of sage. And I'm also going to add some additional crystals for each group. Okay, now we will play the third eye chakra singing bell, and then I'll meet you at your pile. Thank you. Group 1, welcome. Thank you for being here. You chose the Mezcalbean or the mountain laurel seed, whatever you'd like to call it. So mezcal is used in indigenous cultures as a quest in as an aid in vision questing, as a psychoactive substance. And it's also sort of it seems like kind of an uncomfortable experience because it is poisonous. So there's that aspect. And as far as my own culture goes, I remember growing up, we would get these little seeds. I just dropped it. We would get these little seeds and rub them on the sidewalk and then like stick it on your brother's arm or your cousin's arm or your best friend's arm, and it would burn just a little bit. It wouldn't leave a scar or anything, but yeah, so lots of experiences with those. And then I also added some extra crystals, so you're also getting a piece of petrified wood, which all of the crystals that I added to all 3 piles are actually pretty grounding and powerful, sort of connected to that sacral chakra energy. And we also have a card from the Gods and Titans Oracle, which I think will close out the reading with that. We're going to start by drawing the Celtic Cross. And I'm using a deck that I just purchased recently from Half Price Books. It's called the Medieval Scapini Tarot. And I just felt really drawn to this deck. It's kind of a strange energy that I got from it, honestly. It was sort of kind of shadowy, to be honest, but I felt like magnetically drawn towards it. And it's been really interesting. There's so much symbolism in this deck, a lot of alchemical symbolism and different things. So we'll see what comes up here. We're going to do the Celtic Cross, and then we'll see what comes up after that. Just looking for any messages that Spirit has for group 1. Okay, messages for group 1. This covers you. This crosses you. Wow, it jumped out right on top, like in the cross. That's pretty cool. This crowns you. Oh, okay. This crowns you. Move these up a little. Sorry for shaking the camera. And this lies beneath. This is behind. This is passing energy. This is what's coming. This is what's coming. What's coming next? The approaching energy. Oh my gosh. So, all or nothing, huh? I mean, really. Okay, this flipped up, and then this came out. So, okay, let's take those two. And then, let's get a card for your attitude. Group 1's attitude. Okay, this is a little crazy. I'm not taking all of these. I'll just take these two. And then your house. Hopes and fears. And guidance. Let's take them reverse. I mean, I take reversals pretty lightly anyway. I kind of take all the meanings of the cards into account. So, okay, so group 1, this covers you. We've got the Page of Coins. It did come out reversed, but Page of Coins is about studying, saving, maybe getting a grip on your finances, saving up for your goals, or studying, working towards your goals. And this crosses you, another page, the Page of Wands. So it seems like you're maybe seeking your bliss here, group one. Like you're focusing your energy and efforts on gaining stability in your life, but also following your bliss and wanting to, maybe make money off of the things that you're passionate about. That's kind of what I'm getting here. This Page of Wands too is really focused on freedom. He's got a shackle on his ankle, so he's a slave who's been freed in this deck in particular. So maybe you found some kind of newfound freedom and you're out to make your fortune in the world on your own terms now. So this crowns you. We've got the Three of Cups and the Fool. So yeah, new beginnings. And then the Three of Cups is about, again, seeking your bliss, finding what brings you joy and happiness. Abundance too. This Three of Cups has a lot of symbols of fertility and abundance. There's oysters and all this fruit and spaghetti, and the cups are running over here. Figs, grapes. So then beneath you, this is like your foundation, what's driving you forward. We've got the Queen of Swords. So being able to make strong decisions based in logic. And the interesting thing too, one thing that this particular Page of Wands has in common with the Queen of Swords, you don't see it as much on this deck in the Queen of Swords, but in like the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, the Queen of Swords has a rope attached to her wrist. So she's sort of like this Page of Wands who's been freed from sorrow, despair. She's known those things and using that information to move forward with her life. There's also, remember how I said there was a shadow energy with this deck? I don't know if you watched the introduction or not, but the Queen of Swords and King of Swords in particular in this deck explain why I was getting that shadow energy, because you can see down here at the base of her throne, there's a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members. And then there's the stereotypical witches on their broomsticks. So it's also showing the dark side of the Queen of Swords and how sometimes the Queen of Swords is like the leader. The swords suit are the leaders, like the government, the military. And so it can also illustrate how power corrupts, basically. It also looks like she's got a swan in her hand. That's coming to my mind, and a snake wrapped around her arm. Lots of interesting symbolism here, for sure. So passing energy, we have the Queen of Wands, and she was reversed, but we'll just take both sides of the story here. So Queen of Wands in this deck in particular, she's very fertile. She's got hips that won't quit. And so that's calling in that passion again. Like, I think you've maybe recently discovered something that you're very passionate about, and you're trying to figure out how to bring that into fruition into your life in a more practical way. We also have two little babies in baskets here, kind of like baby Moses, which to me makes me think of hope and resilience. But then there's also one baby who's got light skin and one who's dark skin. So it's also that balance between dark and light. When you see dark and light in symbolism, it's about finding balance. And so the energy that's coming, we had the Five of Coins that flipped out, and it's so interesting on this deck. So traditionally, the Five of Coins can represent loss or hardship, difficult times. And if you look at the images on the actual coins themselves, they depict things like that. There's a tidal wave coming in after the castle, the wind blowing someone's house down, buildings falling, this looks like a volcano, but God's hands are covering it. I'm not sure I'm interpreting that right, but that's what it looks like to me. And then this is a goat, a chariot with Mars and Scorpio. So we've got some Capricorn, Mars, and Scorpio energy coming through too, which is that transformational energy. This could also be Aries, actually, the ram. But then we have these people here, and the traditional Five of Coins, the couple is destitute and barefoot and in poor health, but here it's more of a romantic vibe. So it's almost like these two lovers are finding each other against the odds, even though the world's literally falling down around them. they're working it out against the odds. Kind of romantic. And then this flipped out too, another page. Wow, look at that. We had 2 queens and 3 pages so far. It's like a full house. So we've got the Page of Cups, and he looks a little glum in this picture, but on his cup, woo, there's some tantric lovemaking going on. So it's about love, unconditional love, forgiveness. It could be about apologies and offerings, messages. He's got the drum and the feather, so shamanism's coming to mind as well. Yeah, so message of love coming forth. It seems like we've got the lovers on that 5 of Coins, and then the Page of Cups. And it's interesting because the pictures in this particular deck are kind of showing love but against the odds, or like difficult circumstances but love finding a way. Kind of gives it that extra flavor because of this Scapini deck. And so let's look at your attitude. We've got the Ace of Swords. Wow, lots of symbolism there. We've got peacock feathers, the spades, because the swords are related to the spades deck in a regular suit of cards. I guess these are angel feathers, and a snake, black and white symbolism again, yin yang. And then the 7 of Swords, interesting. So 7 of Swords can be about deception, but the Ace of Swords is about the truth. The Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. So your attitude, I feel like you're trying to cut through layers of deception to find the truth. And we've got this alchemist working here and bottling up an aura of rainbow energy. But these, what are they called? I forgot what they're called, but these little creatures up here on the hilts of the sword, they're breathing out toxic fumes. So they're taking this positive energy that the alchemist is creating, and they're transmuting it into toxicity. So it's like you're trying to find this truth and keep your work pure, but it's sort of like there's something going on here that's challenging you. There's sort of like this darkness that you're fighting against, like there's lots of shadows in the world that you're trying to overcome. And I feel like you're really passionate about it and trying to find the truth here. So in your house, we have the 10 of Wands. And it did come out reversed. The 10 of Wands can be about responsibility, and since it's in your house, it could mean that you're being burdened by lots of outside circumstances. And in this particular card, there is an ambush waiting to happen. There's travelers coming down this road, and these guys are hiding behind their wands to ambush the merchants that are coming through. So again, it's like there's stuff going on in the background in your life, like external circumstances that you're trying to see through and cut through all those layers to find your own way, find your freedom, and find love. So hopes and fears, we've got the 5 of Swords. So this is about conflict and confusion. We see walls falling down again here. The pillars falling, crumbling down. Yeah, so I think you're concerned about the conflicts that are going on around you and hoping to come out on top. We've also got this man smoking something down here, like opium, maybe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, but it's like he's dealing with the problems by trying to escape. So maybe you're hoping to find an easy fix to get out of the situation, but you know that's this sort of thing turning to addictions isn't gonna solve the problem ultimately. This building's just gonna fall on top of him while he's sitting down there smoking, you know? And then up at the top, we had the King of Cups reversed. So this is the guidance. So with that, we could take it upright as well, but King of Cups is about benevolence and sharing with others. We've also got some protection symbolism here with this woman who's holding an umbrella for him. So with the reversal, I think what we see there is sort of just not letting your emotions get the best of you, trying to stay stable under difficult circumstances. I'm also going to look in the book, just since that's your guidance card. We'll look this one up in the little booklet. I'm still kind of getting used to some of the symbolism in this deck as well. So it says, the king dressed in red and yellow sits on a papal throne. He has the features of Pope Leo X, the great nepotist pope of the Renaissance. He wears red and green hose with garters embroidered with hearts. His hands are clad in pink gloves. So red, green, and pink are all colors associated with love and the heart chakra. In his right hand, he holds a large cup shaped like the papal tiara, and with his left hand, he clasps the hand of a fair, blonde angel who holds a Chinese sunshade that shelters the king. The angel, who is like an altar boy, wears a pale blue robe covered by a white surplice embroidered with seashells. She sells seashells. Under the king's feet are renderings of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. In the background is the dome of St. Peter's Cathedral of Rome, and the bust of Venus de Milo is on the right. Oh, okay. So divinatory meanings could be responsibility and creativity, a learned person, a professional, religious person, scientist, a considerate person, kindliness, reliability, liberal manner, artistic person, interest in the arts and scientist, and generosity. Reversed, it could mean artistic temperament, double dealing, dishonesty, scandal, loss, ruin, injustice, a crafty person without virtue, and shiftiness. You know, it's a booklet that's really similar to the traditional Rider-Waite booklet, so it's very like this or that, you know, one or the other. Yeah, so I think the advice there is to and throughout this whole reading, there's some sort of craftiness at play here. And maybe they're saying, make sure it's not coming from you, group one. And then also just be aware of your surroundings. You know, don't be a fool. Don't just believe everything you hear. But also hold on to your integrity and your virtue, protect yourself. Yeah. That's sort of the guidance we're getting here. Can we get another card to clarify this guidance for group 1? Okay, the Two of Wands. So this is about coming to a crossroads and making a decision. And on this card in particular, in this deck, we have a depiction of Faust, I believe. So this is like the devil putting his foot on the head of Dr. Faust. So don't sell your soul to the devil, group 1. Is there some sort of temptation that I'm wondering if that's what's going on here? Maybe there's some sort of a temptation where you're being pressured to do something that goes against your integrity. And if that's the case, the message is to hold on to your integrity. Do what you know is right. It's interesting. I'm actually going to read you what I wrote in my journal this morning. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but it kind of came up when I was journaling today. Okay. I was actually journaling about my own experiences and how I'm finding the sacred in my own life and in myself. It says, I've let go of so much guilt and shame, and it's absolutely liberating. I've also had to let go of my pride, also equally liberating. It's weird, pride and shame are almost the same thing, yet also opposites. It's a spectrum, I suppose. A spectrum that I have very little use for these days. In lieu of that spectrum, I've adopted the spectrum of conscience. What's right or wrong? My conscience guides me, informed by the archetypes of the collective conscience. The pride and shame spectrum is based on hegemony, institutions, outside structures imposing themselves onto the conscience of individuals. It seems subtle, but it's actually a big difference. So yeah. Very personal, but I thought I would share it. All right, so let's get a look at your card from the Gods and Titans Oracle. You got Ra, the sun god, and he is associated with power in this deck. So it says, know that you have power and it is real. This card is an invitation to be your most vital self and develop your power from the inside out. Yeah, so that's sort of the overall message here is don't give away your power. You may be feeling lots of pressure from the outside world. Things are really tough, but keep fighting for truth and love against the odds, doing what you know is right in your conscience rather than doing what you feel pressured to do by the rest of the world. Let's see. Ra is the personification of the sun, in particular the setting sun, as it travels beneath the underworld to resurrect itself at dawn. The mighty Ra calls us to power up and become fully alive. When we feel drained or powerless, we are not honoring our birthright. When it seems like our lives are being controlled by rules and what others ask or tell us to do, it is easy to feel powerless. That's what I was just saying, you guys. Oh my goodness, wow. True power is always a pure and good force, and we find it by looking inward. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Yeah. When we don't feel like we are in control of a certain situation, we need only look inward to see that we do have true power over how we deal with and respond to situations, meaning we always have power in our own lives. And then there's a little reminder to get your vitamin D, really important. But don't get too much, son. Don't get so much that you're going to burn, but get enough, right? Okay, so shadow side. Power can corrupt those who do not channel it well. Abuse of power can occur anywhere, on teams, in families, in groups of friends, at a job, within governments, and it is damaging on so many levels. Ensure you are not part of the problem and are not disempowering others. That was part of the message too, you guys. Wow. Corruption empowers just a few and is, of course, answerable to the laws of Mott and man. Yeah, so Mott has a lot of laws, but the main rule of Mott is to keep your soul as light as a feather. So make sure that whatever you do, you've got a clear conscience about it, and then it's going to help your soul to feel light and help you to feel lighthearted. Okay, well, that was very clear, guys. I'm going to draw a card from my handwritten tarot deck, and then I think we're going to call this a day for you guys, group 1. Wheel of Fortune. It was on the bottom and then it came out again. All right, so Wheel of Fortune, what I have written on here: Ezekiel's wheel, Bob Dylan's Wheel of Fire, 4 elements, 4 faces, 4 directions, 4 signs, 4 angels, 12 houses, gyroscopes, breakthrough, and portals to the other world. So if any of those things kind of ring for you, you might look into those, or just keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled for anything that comes to mind. And yeah, portals to the other world. So we have some, we have the Mezcalbean, which helps people to see visions of the other world. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, on one hand, it's sort of like that ancient calendar. So it could have something to do with astrology, like maybe paying attention to what's going on in your chart. And we did have Scorpio and Aries and Mars showing up in that 5 of Coins card. That came through kind of strong. And then the wheel is also just about completion and endings, new beginnings, and just about good luck and power, and knowing that you're moving forward in your life, and that divine power is fueling you and it's on your side. That also kind of reminds me of when you think of the wheel in the sky, like the sun going around that wheel, and how Ra goes around that wheel, and especially during sunset to dawn, while he regenerates himself. So interesting. Okay, well, those are your messages, group 1. I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading, if you'd give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I'm hoping to start being more of a YouTuber at some point, but I've been kind of busy. But hopefully I'll get more of these videos out as time goes on. And yeah, I hope that you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and a great week. So take care. Bye. Hi, group 2. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You chose the Abalone fragment. And I believe that abalone symbolizes peacefulness, calmness. And it's so beautiful and shiny, iridescent. I kind of think of it as being associated with like the crown chakra because of that iridescence. It's kind of like all the colors of the spectrum mixed into one. So a lot of times I associate that sort of energy with the crown chakra, that color mix. And then I don't know if you saw the introduction, but I also matched up some gems and crystals and stones to each of the piles. So you guys got the raw garnet stones, and these are they're heavier than they look. They have almost a magnetic feeling to them, and they've got that dark rusty color. I associate that with, it could be the root or the sacral chakra, maybe a little bit of both. So this is a very grounding reading. We have our housewarming candle, possibly. I think that's what it might be. And all these earthy colors. Okay, and we had 2 cards that came out for you guys. Oh, I'm gonna save these for the end though. You might have seen me flash them at you. But we'll save those for the end. But I'm gonna do a basic Celtic cross reading. I'm using the medieval Scapini deck today. And this is the deck that I just recently purchased. So I'm still getting used to some of the symbolism, but it has a lot of symbolism in it. And we're just gonna see what comes through. And then we'll look at your Gods and Titans, Oracle cards, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So what messages does Spirit have for group 2 today? Group 2. Okay, this covers you. This crosses you. This crowns you. And this lies beneath. That's too much. This is supposed to be the passing energy. You may have a lot of passing energy that you're dealing with, group 2. This energy is passing away. Okay, let's just 3 cards, really? Okay. This energy is approaching. Okay, that was fast. I feel like you're dealing with a lot of stuff from your past, but like the future's coming faster than you can handle. Like things are moving fast for you guys. It's like you've got a lot going on, I guess. Okay, this is your attitude, group 2. Let's get a card for your attitude. And this is your house. This is your hopes and fears. Okay, got a lot of hopes and fears as well, my dear. Wow. Okay, let's just get one card for hopes and fears if we can, though, because that was a lot. Hopes and fears for group 2. Okay. And guidance. I don't even know. Oh, wait. What did we have for your attitude? I don't even remember now. All right. Let's just get one card for guidance for now. We might have to clarify later. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. I think that came out as clarification for the guidance. Hopefully we got that all sorted out. So you had a lot of stuff coming out. I guess Spirit has a lot they want to say to you guys, group 2. Okay, so this covers you. 4 of Wands, home, stability. That's interesting because I was just talking about how this whole reading is about, you know, we've got our homecoming candle, a lot of grounding energy related to the 1st and 2nd chakras. So 4 of Wands is about homecoming, stability, and a home blessing as well. That could also be like a housewarming party type of thing. And then crossing you, the Knight of Wands, out on a mission. And again, remember I said how you're moving fast? The Knight of Wands is pretty fast. All right, so this crowns you. We've got the King of Swords. So power, leadership, decision-making. And beneath you is the Ace of Cups. Well, that's beautiful. So this is indicating, you know, you're making clear decisions, but you're still basing your decisions in unconditional love, which is really important because one of the messages with this deck in particular with King of Swords is that power corrupts. So that's really important that when you're in a position of power, that you use love and empathy to make decisions. Okay, so passing energy. We also have a lot of shells on this Ace of Cups card. And you guys picked the Abalone shell fragment, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. Passing energy. Wow, okay. Whew, oh my goodness. We have the Star, the Sun, and the 3 of Swords. And this particular 3 of Swords is interesting. So 3 of Swords is about heartbreak. It can be about betrayal, loss, sorrow. But on this 3 of Swords, it's the prodigal son leaving his family behind. And his outfit reminds me of one of the pages. I forgot which one. Maybe probably the Page of Swords, but interesting. Yeah. So it's like maybe either someone has left you to go on a journey, or maybe you've left someone else behind to go on a journey. And so there's been separation and difficulty because of that. But we've also got the Sun and the Star. So it's like there's something that needs to be done, and you're seeking the truth and healing. So it's like you've been through this journey of healing, and it may have something to do with a loss. But I feel like you've kind of come through the other side and started to see the truth. This is an interesting energy. And then, yeah, what's covering you is homecoming, right? So we have the prodigal son leaving their home behind, but right now you're in the energy of that returning back to home. Okay, let me know what that means for you, group 2. So what's coming next? 2 tens. Wow. Okay, 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords. So 10s are about completion, endings, something coming to a close. Now, 10 of Wands and 10 of Swords can both be really difficult energy, though. 10 of Wands can be about burdens, being overwhelmed. 10 of Swords also can be about burdens, being overwhelmed, even betrayal, loss. And on this card, we've got women who are grieving, but they were actually, if you read the booklet, these women were paid to grieve. We've got chrysanthemums, which are a flower associated with mourning, and a spider in the middle weaving a web. And then on the hilts of the swords, it's the people who stabbed Julius Caesar. Interesting, huh? And then 10 of Wands is about an ambush. And this is saying it's an energy that's coming towards you. So I don't want to alarm you or make you think anything terrible is about to happen. But the tendency can also be that about something coming to an end. So it could be that sorrow or loss, that journey that you've been through has had something to do with these type of energies, like betrayal. I'm getting like a lot of Julius Caesar type of energy here, which I've been there before. I know what that's like. Not literally. I mean, they didn't stab me, but you know, when you're involved with a group of people and then find out like they were all conspiring against you. Yeah, maybe something like that happened to you guys. Okay, well, let's get some more information and we'll figure out a little bit more about that later. On the lighter side, I'm reading more of a shadowy energy because of this deck, but on the lighter side, the 10 of Wands can be about taking responsibility, and the 10 of Swords can be about learning how to sacrifice your ego on the altar of love. So 10 of Swords is about killing your ego, killing your pride, killing your sense of shame, and liberating yourself from all of those things for the sake of unconditional love. So that's what also could be happening here. So take it how it resonates for you. Okay, so your attitude, group two. We've got the Magician. So there are things that you're working to manifest. You've got the tools that you need. Now, this kind of came up reversed, but we could take it either way. So in its higher vibe, the Magician is about manifesting things for the good of the universe, for the good of humanity. In reverse, the Magician can be a little more manipulative and selfish. So that may be something you could reflect upon. And then in your house, we've got the Ace of Wands. Wow, so lots of passion. So you got Ace of Cups and Ace of Wands. Wow. So Ace of Wands could be about passion in a good way. Like maybe people around you are really excited about what you're doing. You're causing quite a stir, maybe glowing up. They may be really attracted to you physically. Another meaning could be like anger, because passion can sometimes turn into anger. So there may be some anger issues coming up too. Especially if there was some sort of betrayal or loss, there could be people on both sides or one side or the other feeling anger about that. What are your hopes and fears? Another ace, Ace of Swords. So trying to find truth and clarity, cut through confusion. Wow, pretty cool. 3 aces. And let's get your guidance. Queen of Cups and 6 of Cups. So the Queen of Cups here is Venus on the half shell. opening up her heart. I'm getting like Kuan Yin vibes here, compassion, love, protection. I think Kuan Yin watches over sailors too. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like that. And then Six of Cups. So Six of Cups can be about nostalgia and looking at the past, making peace with the past. But in this depiction, they're looking more at how to move forward for the future and looking at different options that one can take to affect the course of their own destiny. There's lust, addiction, passion, there's meditation, there's the esoteric route, there's alchemy, there's this is La Befana. She's making gifts for children, generosity, charity. I forgot what this one is about, but yeah, there's lots of different ways you can go about approaching your life. And so with the Queen of Cups and Six of Cups here together, I think the guidance is to move forward with kindness and benevolence and figure out what brings you joy. And that's, again, going to benefit the greater good for humanity, and move towards that in that direction. Okay, so let's see what came up for you from the Gods and Titans Oracle. We had Ganesha, obstacles, and Cernunnos, shape-shifting. So with these two coming up together, I feel like you're learning to shape-shift around the obstacles in your life. You're learning how to get around things. Let's see what comes up. Like you're maybe learning how to flow in spite of the odds. Let's see. So Ganesh, obstacles. Obstacles are removed or placed for good reason. Invite in a drama-free life. Okay, that sounds good. Any problems, writing papers, working out problems, or finding a job, Ganesha should be able to help you. Sometimes we make our own dramas and our own obstacles. We can focus too much on perceived blocks we think are there, such as lack of inspiration or not understanding something, and let those perceived problems stop us instead of diving in and getting the work done. Okay, let's look at Cernunnos. And it says, transition and change are flowing through you. Relax and know you have the power to be what you want to be. Yeah, so it's about flowing through the obstacles, around the obstacles. Shapeshifting is a way of gathering power and information. This is one of the earliest principles of magic. Like attracts like. If you want to catch a stag, be a stag in the ritual dance. Feel the stag, think like the stag, be one with the stag, and then you can better connect with the stag should you need to hunt it. By honoring this father hunter, the horned one, ancient peoples felt they would be better fed and better prepared, and so more successful. Cernunnos' energy is vital, flowing, fertile, and connecting. He's a symbol of the purest masculine energy, untainted and fully connected with his strength and wildness. can call upon his shape-shifting energy when you wish to transition from one identity to another or to shift back into your most authentic self. If you feel like you've changed recently in ways that don't feel right to you or in ways that feel untrue to your nature, it's time to shift back with Cernunnos. Yeah. So remember how I was talking earlier about that prodigal son maybe returning back, that homecoming? That could also be symbolic of you going on a journey within yourself and maybe feeling like you were being untrue to yourself, and now you're coming back into your most authentic and true self, group 2. That could be part of what's happening here too. And a lot of this Cernunnos energy, I'm also tying in with that magician, like trying to manifest something. When you're doing that, remember that it's sort of like a fake it till you make it type of energy. Like, think of what you want to be, and then you will be that. If you act the way you want to be, eventually you will be that way. I want to get some quotes for you if I could find stuff. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so we have, love is messy. If you really love someone, you can't avoid the pain. People die, people leave, things change, but sometimes it all works. Danielle Steele. Okay. And then we have, courage is grace under pressure. Ernest Hemingway. Wow. Yeah, so you may be feeling a lot of pressure, group 2, and dealing with difficult situations, love, betrayal. But keep up your courage, keep moving forward, pushing through those obstacles, being who you want to be, finding your truth, speaking your truth. You've got so much power here. It's so cool. You know, the magician has one of each of the symbols of the elements, one of each of the suits of the tarot. And we have Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, and Ace of Swords. The only one missing is Ace of Pentacles, but you saw how many cards kept flopping out. I have to wonder if, you know, they were trying to give us an Ace of Pentacles too. Maybe the Pentacle is the one that you're trying to manifest, you know? You might be trying to make some money, but you've got everything you need to get there. Okay, let's see here. I want to finish up with a card from Yogic Oracle. We have Dharana. I believe this means concentration. It's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. That beautiful sunset or sunrise, I can't tell. That's pretty cool. My son was just telling me yesterday he went to the beach with his dad and he said they saw a sunrise that looked like that. He was like, you know, like from one of those 80s movies posters. Let me see. 73. Okay, so Dharana is single-focused concentration, and it's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. So this is what it says. It is time to focus your mind on one goal to undergo the transformation that comes from concentration. The birthing process of an idea takes deep commitment to usher it to life. Through single-focused commitment, you will be able to deepen your understanding of your goal and from its core, bring it to fruition. This is your time to say no to everything that is not related to your dharma. Practice dharana and focus on what it is you came to this earth to do. And in the reverse, I usually read both upright and reverse meanings for this. It says, you've recently been burying your head under the sand. Focus totally on your work. Airplane going by. Okay. While there is profound insight to be gained from immersion, you also must remember to look around you at what else life has to offer. Concentration requires inspiration. Take some time off from the work at hand and focus on the true work at large, embodying your fullest human experience. Okay, so yeah, that ties in with the guidance we got here with the Queen of Cups and Six of Cups about finding what brings you joy in the human experience as you move forward, but doing it with purpose. We're finding what's most important to for us to manifest, but for the greater good of humanity and the universe, the cosmos. Like, what's our sacred purpose? And manifest that. You know, and that doesn't mean we can't, you know, have money and nice things, but it does mean that we've got to do it the right way based on that foundation of unconditional love. Yeah. And moving through the world, using your intuition to connect with things that bring you joy and that also show kindness and compassion to the rest of the world. Pretty cool. Oh, I also just noticed. Yeah, okay. So, this is also talking about patience, I believe, because you see this mudra back here? This mudra is the mudra for patience, which my yoga teacher Larissa used to always say. It was ironic because it's the middle finger. So if you point the middle finger the other way, it's the symbol for impatience. I always remember it that way. But if you connect the thumb to the middle finger, it's for patience. So that may be coming into play too. And a really cool thing too is that patience and compassion are really closely related to each other. Compassion means with suffering. So, you know, patience has to do with like kind of suffering, waiting, you know, allowing things to happen in their own time. All right, well, I think we'll leave it there, group 2. Thanks so much for being here today. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content. I do hope to be posting more frequently at some point in the future. Life's just been super hectic, which I'm thankful for. I've been working hard, so hopefully people are eventually going to pay all these invoices I'm sending them. And I can pay my own bills that way. So thank you all for being here, and hope to see you again soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hi, group 3, welcome. You chose what I strongly believe is the feather of a white-winged dove, which of course calls to mind the Fleetwood Mac song, just like a white-winged dove. You gotta listen to that, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The other options would be mourning dove or mockingbird, but I really think this is a white-winged dove just because it kind of cuts straight across right there. I Googled it. You Google it too. Let me know what you think. Or if you are an avian expert, please chime in the comments below. Also, I don't know if you watched the whole cleansing and introduction, but I also put out some additional stones with each of the piles. So for you guys, we have the tiger's eye. I love tiger's eye. It's a powerful stone. It's about power, manifestation, bringing in abundance. I think a package just arrived too. That's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah. As soon as I was saying bringing in abundance, a package arrived. Cool. Okay, so we also have your Gods and Titans Oracle card here, which we will finish up with at the end of the reading. And I'm just going to be doing a basic Celtic cross, and then we'll look at your Gods and Titans Oracle and maybe pull a few other messages and things if I feel called to do that. So we just want to get overall messages, whatever Spirit has to say for group 3, whatever comes through. What do they need to hear today? 6 of coins just flipped up there. That's about balance. And I'm reading today with the Medieval Scapini deck. I talked about it a little in the intro. I recently purchased this at half price books, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. It has a very deep energy, almost sort of a deep, dark energy, to be honest with you guys. I felt magnetically drawn to it, but it does have sort of a shadowy vibe sometimes. But the shadow is just as important as the light, so it's got very deep symbolism in it. Okay, messages for group 3. Okay, what is this? 8 of coins. That came out. It's about working really hard. I'm not going to put it out, but we already have 6 of coins and 8 of coins pop out. Okay, group 3. That's too many. Too many to start with. Let's just get one card. Group 3. Okay. Group 3. This covers you. Okay, this covers you. Group 3. This crosses you. Too much, but we did have the moon that flipped face up. Group 3, this crosses you. there. Okay. Group 3, this crowns you. Okay. Group 3, this lies beneath. Whoa, that shot right out. Woo, you guys are passionate. Wow. Okay. Group 3, this is passing. Empress. I'm going to put everything face down for now, and then we'll flip it up as we get to it. Group 3, this energy is approaching. This is your attitude. Lots of attitude too, Group 3. What is going on with you guys? Man. All right, let's just get one card for Group 3's attitude. And your house. Hopes and fears. Let's just get one card if possible. And then guidance. All right. Cool. So this crosses you. I mean, this covers you. The Chariot, success, moving quickly, finding a way around obstacles. This crosses you, the Fool, new adventures, new beginnings. Exciting. Like you're on some sort of a quest here, Group 3. I am feeling really excited, like that. That's the vibe I'm getting from you guys. It's kind of cool. Crowning energy is the Knight of Wands, moving quickly towards something that you're passionate about. And supporting energy is the Ace of Wands. Ooh, you're on fire. Passing energy. Oh, that's not the Empress, that's the Popus. But in this deck, it's weird because the High Priestess and the Empress kind of have some back and forth mixed energy. But yeah, you've got the High Priestess, the Popus. Okay, so maybe you've been connecting more with your intuition lately. And what's coming? The Ten of Coins. Abundance, stability. Look, these coins are in the shape of the tree of life. The Kabbalistic tree of life. There's a bunch of faces on here too. I forgot who they're supposed to be. Let's look that up. The little booklet probably explains that, hopefully. It doesn't. And it doesn't. It says, the turrets of an elegant and noble castle aspire upward. Superimposed is an oak tree whose roots are at the steps and the basement of the castle. A family tree is shown on golden coins. And divinatory meanings are prosperity, riches, security, safety, family ancestry, inheritance, and home. Okay, so this is a family, but they're all dudes. I get, oh, it's very paternalistic. I get it. Okay, they're just showing the dads, I guess. Okay. So attitude. Nine of Wands. Isn't that cool? They're all wearing like the rainbow colors of the different chakras here. And now I'm trying to remember who these guys are. They're sleeping sailors and they're about to get ambushed by these enemy ships. So it's about needing to be on guard and keep watch. But these guys aren't doing a very good job of that. They're about to get caught unawares. Okay. In your house, Queen of Wands, more fire. This Queen of Wands in particular is very fertile. So it could be about fertility as well. Hopes and fears, 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is like the wish card. So there's something that you're wishing for, hoping that your wish is going to come true. And then guidance, we have the 5 of Wands. So that's about conflict and confusion. It can be about bickering, fighting. So as guidance, I'm getting both the 9 of Wands and the 5 of Wands together here to be about just being aware of the outside world, about other people's feelings, about protecting yourself, and setting healthy boundaries, but boundaries, not barriers type of thing, I guess. What does it say in the 5 of Wands? Let's read the guidance from the little book. So this says, 5 men engage in a furious struggle using clubs as weapons. 2 of the clubs are oak, 2 birch, and 1 poplar. So I know that oak symbolizes strength. I forgot what birch and poplar stand for. You might look that up. A 6th character rubs his hands together gleefully, for he will exploit the struggle to his advantage. And although not directly participating, he will emerge the winner. Okay, so this is some good guidance, right? He has a solar symbol on his sleeves, a bag of golden coins at his waist, a coin at his neck, and emerald rings. Interesting. Okay, so the advice here is to rise above it. Right? Obviously, right? Rise above the conflict. Be the one who's like, be the adult in the situation. Cooler heads prevail. And yeah, that's basically what that's saying. 9 of Wands. I want to read about 9 of Wands too. So this says, a group of bandits like Robin Hood's band of merry men doze in a forest after a bout of drinking. Their clothes follow the progression of the rainbow. Meanwhile, at the top of the card, Saracens approach in galleys. I don't know who Saracens are. Saracens. Saracens. You may want to look that up. Despite the calmness of the scene, the merry men may soon sense the approach of danger. Yeah. And this can also be about obstacles, problems, delays. So you may have some barriers and obstacles that you're trying to overcome, because we also had the Chariot coming out as the first card that covers you. So I do sense that you're like setting out on this journey and trying to overcome some obstacles. There's something that you're wishing for. In your house, there's a lot of passion, the Queen of Wands. Actually, let's read a little bit about her too while we're doing this. Okay, so the Queen of Wands can mean a sympathetic and understanding person. So there may be somebody that you know who's playing an important role in your life right now, who's sympathetic and understanding. It can also mean friendliness, lovingness, honor, chasteness, practicality, feminine charm and grace, ability for meaningful expression and love, a gracious hostess, and sincere interest in others. So those are all really beautiful things. Like there may be someone in your life that you're interested in, or who's interested in you, and they're bringing a lot of grace and charm into your life. Or this could symbolize the way they, someone else is in your life and this is the way they view you, like you're bringing feminine charm and grace into the situation, kind of depending on whether you resonate more with the feminine or masculine energy. Okay, cool. Let's see what your guidance from the gods is. Nuada, perfection. So you can see on the card, Nuada's left arm is a mechanical arm. And what happened with him is he was the leader of his tribe, and his arm was lost in battle. And his tribe had a rule that said anyone who is imperfect, who has an imperfect body or anything like that, is not allowed to be the leader. And so someone else took over, but the person who took over wasn't nearly as good of a leader as Nuada had been. Nuada was a very well-rounded person and knew how to delegate and bring out the strengths of others. So somebody in the tribe, I guess, fashioned this mechanical arm for him, kind of like Luke Skywalker's arm, right? And so then they let Nuada be the leader again, especially since he was such a good leader anyway. So that's his story. I want to read from the book. What does it say? It says, love and appreciate your uniqueness and your imperfections. Question the cost of chasing perfection. Delight in who you are. Let's see, it says, we are born with everything we need to be what we are meant to be. We are born imperfectly perfect. Our uniqueness has a reason. Nuada reminds us that to be perfect, we need not pursue some unattainable and false ideal. Perfection is a subjective judgment and not an objective reality. In Nuada's case, he was the best leader. His missing hand did not take away from his great leadership qualities. Many people state that they are perfectionists, like it's a badge of honor. While trying to be excellent and the best we can be is admirable, striving for an unattainable illusion is tiring and damaging. Remember, should Nuada show his hand to you, consider that you may well be good enough already. All right, I'm going to get a little bit of clarification on a couple of these cards. First of all, your attitude with the Nine of Wands. Can we get some clarification on Group 3's attitude with the Nine of Wands? Okay, so we have the Two of Wands. Oh my gosh, way too much came out here. Strength or force. The Ten of Cups. And the Queen of Swords. Ooh, okay. So there's decision making that needs to happen here. And following your conscience, moving towards your happiness, and also just kind of being able to control and have self-discipline over some of your animal instincts, Group 3. You've got the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands coming out and the Queen of Wands. So, and the Knight of Wands, you've got a lot of wands, a lot of fire, basically. And so, and you've got the Chariot, that drive for success, the Fool, setting out on an adventure. You're very ambitious, right? So that's great, but you gotta also learn how to rein it in a little bit when you need to, so that you're not letting your drive and ambition and your healthy desires turn into lust, like addiction and lust, right? Making sure that you stay in control of yourself and your feelings and emotions and things like that. Yeah, that's basically what I'm getting here. Stay in control of yourself, because if you don't use that gentle strength to control your inner beast, you may end up like Faust on this card, on the Two of Wands, where he's like, the devil is controlling him. It's like a card, it's sort of a reflection of the devil card here. He's being overcome by his addictions and things like that. So that's basically what they're saying here. And Queen of Swords also can be about breaking free from those addictions and things that can cause you to get carried away and cause you to lose sight of your purpose. Okay, what about the Nine of Cups? What's this wish card about? Nine of Cups can also be about overindulgence, and this Nine of Wands also, they've overindulged. So that could be something that's coming up here, guys, if it resonates with you. So for clarification on the Nine of Cups, we got the Ace of Cups. So I feel like you're wishing for love, unconditional, pure love. That's really beautiful. You know, that's a noble thing. But I do think like the advice here is to, you know, feel it's okay to have goals and to set your sights on what it is that you want, but you also want to kind of go with the flow and allow things to happen and surrender to divine power while you learn to temper your own animal instincts and addictions, right? We don't want to go overboard to where our desires and wishes begin to control us. We just want to set that intention, put it out there to the universe, and then allow it to come to us while we stay calm and just focused on the present moment. Get what I'm saying here? I need to learn that lesson just as much as anybody. So, okay, guidance. Well, we already got the guidance. It's just to rise above confusion. Is there any clarification you want to give us on the guidance card? Okay. Two of Swords. King of Swords, interesting. The Falling Tower, the Lovers, and the Knight of Swords. Ooh, okay. Again, more decision making and trying to stay calm and balanced and move forward as more of a calm king rather than a reckless knight. And then with the Lovers, that could also be about decision making, but also just keeping your heart open to love and what, you know, basically focusing on what type of relationship or situation you're trying to attract to yourself. And if the Falling Tower came out as well. So to me, that's saying, you know, we had the Five of Wands here and this guy is rising above it. So to me, this is saying just to allow the tower to fall around you, but know that you're going to end up where you need to be while everybody else is busy fighting and bickering. You just stick to your path, stay righteous, and keep your motivations and your energy clear, and you're going to end up where you want to be. It's really a pretty positive reading. I like this. I like this group. You guys are fun. I want to get a card from the Yogic Path. And maybe one of my handwritten tarot cards. And maybe some quotes. Or get some clarification for y'all. Let's see. Yeah, so far what the message, the biggest message that I'm getting here is to just avoid trying to control things too hard and let things happen. Okay. Okay. So we have the devil and the 5 of water. Yeah, that addiction message was coming through too. Okay. Don't try to control things, but do try to gain control over yourself, all right? So the devil messages that I wrote down, I went through and I made a card for each card in the tarot, and then did like stream of consciousness writing to fill out some information on each of these. Eventually I may attach some graphics to these, but right now it's just what it is. So I've got temptation, toxic attachment, ego, addiction, codependency, chains, the dark side, shadow, sensuality, sex, loss of power, giving up power, fear, control, and loss of self-control. So power is really coming in a lot here, and it's about finding that right balance of power, not giving up your power to your addictions or chains, but taking power over yourself while also not trying to manipulate your power and control the whole situation, if that makes any sense. It can be about fear, control, and loss of self-control. And then 5 of water came out too, and it says crying over spilled perfume, longing for things to be as they once were, and grieving. Okay. So with 5 of water coming up, you know, the message there as far as guidance is to stop crying over the spilled perfume, because what's gone is gone. What's past is past. Like when you're playing poker, the chips that are out on the table, they're no longer your chips, right? Those are gone. So don't make future decisions based on what's already happened in the game. Like start from where you are. There's no going back. There's just moving forward. And if you look behind you, you might see there's a couple of cups still standing, that might have just what you need. Okay. So from a yogic oracle, we got Thomas. It's so cute. mighty tiger sleeping with all these butterflies flittering all around. So Thomas is about rest, I believe. Let me just get this book out and we'll read about it. Okay, so it's about rest, but it's actually like, so sattva would be like the perfect balance between rajas and tamas, if I'm getting this correctly. So these are like the gunas, I thought, maybe. So we're throughout our life, we're trying to achieve the balance of sattva, okay? And it's like the middle of the spectrum between rajas, which is overactivity, moving too fast, coming on too strong, getting too angry, and tamas, which is like hibernation, going into your cave, being inert, not moving, stagnant, okay? And of course, you know, life would be totally boring if we were totally sattvic 100% of the time, just, you know? So it's about coming into balance all the time. Rajas and tamas, rajas and tamas, rajas and tamas, finding that sattvic balance, right? That's how I think of it. Okay, so tamas can mean density, dullness, and inertia. So upright, this says, you are in a period of hibernation, which is sometimes needed to blossom into a butterfly. Your body is between lines of a poem, notes of a song, steps of a dance. Use this time to fully rejuvenate your system, allowing proper rest and food. Know when it is time to emerge from your cocoon and show the world the gifts you have been cultivating. Stillness is only balanced when followed by action. And then in the reverse meaning, so I usually read the high vibe and the low vibe meanings for the card because they're both pretty helpful as far as advice goes. So in reverse, it could mean perhaps you're feeling stuck. You seem not to have the energy that you used to and feel like the fire within you has been put out. Oh, what? There's so much fire within you, group 3. I don't know about that. But with this 9 of Wands card coming up and they're all passed out, drunk, asleep. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the tiger's like one of like the tiger could fit right in with these guys. So cute. So yeah, maybe that's what this 9 of Wands is talking about. Let's see. You may feel heavy, absent-minded, and lazy. My dear, you have been in cocoon for too long and you've forgotten you have wings. Create movement and novelty in your life. Practice sun salutations. Take long walks in nature. Clean up your house. Let go of all tamasic foods, those that are packaged, fried, or full of sugar and refined flour. It takes effort to get the wheels moving at first, but once you make that push, you'll be in effortless flow. Kriya. All right. Yeah. It's all about balance. You can do it, group 3. I know you can. All right. Well, should we get a quote? Let's get some quotes to close out your reading. Okay, this says, Get at least 8 hours of beauty sleep. 9 if you're ugly. Betty White. So that's pretty funny. I love Betty White. Oh, she's like she's one of my new spirit guides, I think. She's such a great person, even though she's on the other side now. So this was reminding me of this Nine of Wands cards, because she says get 9 hours of beauty sleep if you're ugly. And there's like 9 guys, and they're all kind of ugly. I'm just being mean, but yeah. Get in their sleep. And this card's also reminding me of what I was reading for Thomas from a yogic oracle, where she was saying, you got to know you need this rest, but you also need to know when it's time to come out of that cocoon. So, okay, yeah, the rest is good, guys, but you need to get out of the cocoon and wake up before these boats arrive. Okay, get at least 8 hours of beauty sleep, 9 if you're ugly. So again, that's about rest. It's just now coming to me. Wow. Okay, synchronicity. All right, so okay. Let the waters settle, and you will see the moon and the stars mirrored in your own being. Rumi. Oh, nice. The moon, remember the moon popped out when I was shuffling in the beginning? And the star, no, the star did not come out. Wow, okay. Yeah, so another strong message that's coming through is to take the time you need to rest. It seems like some of you, I think what did happen is we felt like there was a lot of energy coming through in this pile, like a lot going on. And so, yeah, I think that in the midst of all this energy that you're feeling, it's time to rest, recoup, take the time you need to continue on your journey, but don't stay there too long. Don't get stagnant. Know when it's time to emerge from the cocoon and keep moving forward. And also with Nuada Perfection coming up, another message could be that, if you're in that cocoon phase right now, are you choosing to stay in the cocoon because you haven't completely perfected your healing? Because no one's ever going to be perfectly perfect, right? So don't wait for that. Don't wait for perfection to emerge from your cocoon. Wait until your intuition's telling you it's time to come out of the cocoon and take the next steps on your journey. All right, guys, best of luck to you. I hope you get the things that you're wishing for, and that you rise above victorious. And I hope to see you again sometime. If you liked this reading, if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate you being here again. And I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. And yeah, take care. Bye.